So, what if you were asked this question? What if you were asked, describe what living your best life meant to you, and how would you respond to that question? Welcome to Winning at Life Behind Enemy Lines. I'm your host, hashtag one time. Welcome to the podcast, everyone. And today's question we're tackling today is the top 3 signs that you're living your best life, even when it doesn't look like that you are. So let's take just a moment. I'm going to jump right in. Let's just take a moment and define what living your best life is. You know, if you would scour social media, what you'll find is lots of advertisement about people living their best life. Vacation in Cozumel, vacation in the Riviera, vacation all across the world. And people are describing that as living their best life. And it could very well be. What we're tackling today is that living your best life is a lot of things. What we're going to do is we're going to dive into what living your best life means actually to you. Now, I just want to make it clear. I'm not hating on anybody who's living their best life, who can vacation anywhere they want. I'm not hating on anybody who has a house in the Hamptons. I'm not hating on anyone who says that I'm living my best life because of. But what we'll dig into is there are 3 signs to tell that you are truly living your best life. So what comes to mind when you hear someone say, I'm living my best life? For many people, though, it is tied up in the success of what you see on social media. It's validated. And I'll be honest with you, living your best life could mean more than that vacation. It could mean more than an extra home. It could be more than just being able to own a home. Living your best life could actually mean for some people, and we'll get into this, attending your daughter's recital, making amends with someone you have had conflict with in your life for quite some time. Living out your purpose is what living your best life could look like. But to be totally honest with you, all of it boils down to what is your mindset. It's about finding those small wins in life, making sure you really do protect your peace, making sure that your health is in good shape, or the best shape that you could possibly have your health in. So, I have to do a little bit of research on what people in general think about living their best life. The Abbot Health Group conducted a survey of 2 million people across the world. And the Abbott Global Healthcare Organization. Abbott, I don't know if it's affiliated with Greg Abbott, the governor of Texas, or not. I'm sure it's Probably not. I would say that it is not. But the Abbott Global Healthcare Organization and Group asked the question in a survey to over 2 million people across the world. What does living your best life look like? And the goal of the survey was merely to understand what living a complete life, what people really consider their best life, what that means to them. And here are some shocking statistics to me. More than 32% of the respondents out of the 2 million, more than 32% said the number one key to a full life is a relationship with the family. Y'all stay with me. Once again, if you watched my previous episodes where I talk about relationships, if you haven't, go back and watch Relationships Part 1, Relationships Behind Enemy Lines, and Relationships Part 2. Watch how I come out of this. The number or the highest ranking area with people asked all around the world, 32% said the number one key to living your best life is a relationship with your family. 12 said success or going after their purpose. 8% said giving. 11% said health. 16% said money. But 23% of the 2 million said attitude matters and is the number one reason other people believe that they're living their best life. 44%, though, nearly half, said money is the top reason that they're not able to live their best life. Money. 44% said money is the top barrier to living their best life. And that survey rounded out with 33% of the people said time. Time is an area that they struggle with in living their best life. But I'll tell you, when you live in your best life, there are 3 signs that often shows up in the process of what we consider living our best life. Number 1, purpose and passion. Having a clear sense of purpose for your life. Understanding that you were called on this earth for a reason, to live out and to walk in a purpose. Purpose often shows up when people are living their best life. Health, a matter of your health. If you have no health, you can gain no wealth. If you have no health, it's nearly impossible for you to live your best life. I'm talking about your mental health, your emotional health, your physical health, your well-being, staying around to fulfill your purpose. Number 3 is financial stability and freedom. Don't get me wrong. I ain't hating on nobody who's getting their bag and living their best life. But money isn't everything. Financial security is, and we understand that. But I'll be totally honest with you, money is not the major reason. And I'll give you one added one. The last thing that shows up, or I won't say the last thing, But one of the things amongst the others that shows up when you're living your best life is gratitude. Gratitude and thanksgiving about being blessed with a gift in order to live out your purpose on this earth. Recognizing what your blessings actually are. But I'll be totally honest with you. When you break it down, there are three groups, three categories. People in three categories. We'll just narrow them down to three. The three categories of people and what they think living your best life is. We'll talk about the wealthy, we'll talk about the middle class, and we'll talk about the poor. To the wealthy, living their best life means freedom and choice. They have the financial freedom to do exactly whatever they want to do. They have luxury and comfort. They want to leave a legacy, or they want to build a legacy. Purposeful fulfillment is another area that the wealthy consider living their best life. Personal fulfillment, giving back, health optimization, access to the best health care, nutrition, and personal trainers that they could get. That's what the wealthy think living the best life is. Education and learning, attending top tier schools and hiring private tutors for their kids. And they think, or they believe, that living their best life consists of those particular things. Here's how they differ, though, from the middle class and the poor. Money is never the subject, or rarely is it the subject. It is the object. I'll tell you what I mean about that here in just a moment. Here's what the middle class believe when they are living their best life. Here's how they describe it: stability and security, having a steady job, their home ownership, a retirement plan. They do the best that they can in the light of living their best life, to have a work life and the other life that improves their life. Comfortable living is very important to the middle class as they describe living their best life. Personal growth is important. Climbing the career ladder on that job, taking courses, being proactive, lifelong learning. Those things describe how the middle class believe that they're living their best life. The family and the community. The middle class are entrenched, many of them, in the family and in the community. So here's a commonality between the wealthy and the middle class: health. Health and wellness. That's another thing that shows up in individuals. Oftentimes you'll see that they have a regimen. They go to the gym. They try to preserve and prolong their health because they know that health is wealth. If you're not healthy and you're not here, you can't live your best life anyway. Here's how they differ, though, from the wealthy. The middle class also believes that money can be the subject and the object at the same time. The poor. Here's how the poor describe, oftentimes, living their best life. It's about survival. It's about meeting basic needs, having enough to eat, having a roof over your head, having transportation. A few moments of joy might seem like gathering of the family, a family reunion, community events, free entertainment, small comforts, a nice meal on a holiday maybe, a phone call to a relative, a reconciliation to a relative or an individual, hope of education, looking and searching for opportunities that can improve their situation. Community and faith. The poor are always in church. Community, always trying to make a direct line into their community, to be etched in the community. But here's how they differ from the wealthy and the middle class. Here's how they do. Money, wealth, and money is the subject and the object. We'll get into that in just a moment. Money is the subject and the object. Always the scarcity mindset. I got to get the money. If I had the money, this is what I could do to change my life. And there's no argument. You get no argument from me with that. I am not stating or insinuating in any way that money is not a part of the equation. You've got to have money to do things in this life. But here are some commonalities across all lines: the wealthy, the middle class, and the poor. And here's what shows up in the lives of people oftentimes when we talk about living our best life. Living our best life. Happiness, and they are subjective. All three categories of people are: the wealthy, the middle class, and the poor. Each group enjoys what they have, but yet they struggle. You can have all the money that you want to have, but it's difficult to profess that you're living your best life when you just had a real tragedy in your life. Prayers go out to all the people that were lost most recently in the military helicopter and the American Airlines plane that crashed. 67 people lost their lives. And the people that love them are not right now living their best life, maybe, but they have hope. They have hope even through the struggle. Desire for meaning and purpose always shows up in people who can say, I'm living my best life. Yeah. Whether it's giving to other people or what have you, the desire for meaning and purpose shows up in all categories: wealthy, the middle class, and the poor. Strong relationships matter. You'll see strong relationships show up in people that can claim and proclaim that they're living their best life. Hope for the future. Hope for the future. All categories want hope for the future, even the wealthy. Health, good health. You're living your best life when you feel that you are healthy. All classes want health, need health. Understand that living their best life deals with health. And so here are a few takeaways. Here are a few things that you can harken back in your mind and think when you hear people say, I'm living my best life. Here are a few things that you can be able to say when it comes to living your life, the life you want, living your best life. It's about health, relationships, gains, small gains, large gains in life. It's about the fulfillment of your purpose in life. It's about your mindset over everything. It's about your environment. Your environment shapes what you think about whether or not you're living your best life. And I'll tell you, here's some signs that you're living your best life. You wake up excited every day because you believe that you have a purpose, that you're on a mission, you're motivated, your energy is high. You feel peace, even about relationships that you are working on, even about things that you are working on in your life. You feel peace and that you will make progress in those particular areas. You have meaningful relationships with individuals. Money is not always your subject. It is your object when you are living your best life. But I tell you, there are some signs that you may not be living your best life. You feel stuck and unmotivated. You are constantly stressed and unhappy. Change triggers you. You feel isolated, disconnected from individuals, or disconnected from your life. I'm talking about the life where you're still out here trying to find your purpose. And I'll be totally honest with you, whether or not you are wealthy, whether or not you are middle class, or whether or not you are poor, living your best life deals with and encompasses the mindset that you have, where you are in life. I ain't hating on you if you can go and spend 9 days in the Riviera. But is that your best life? Your best life entails you waking up every day inspiring to be the best version of yourself. And you can't do that. You can't do that if you don't understand that money is the object that gets you there. It should not be, and do not be fooled, that it is the subject of everything in our today's life. I tell you, I'll be totally honest with you. I live my best life, or I've lived my best life during the times I was able to attend my daughter's recital, watching her gracefully play the piano, on stage, in the lights. I was living my best life. Yeah, I was living my best life when I was riding around in a 72 Chevy Nova with the rear seat floorboard all rusted out. I was living my best life because I had hope for the future and I had hope for my purpose. And I really wanted to live out whatever it is that I was supposed to live out. And I wanted to use every gift that I believed that I had. But in closing today, I'll tell you, there was a man, his name was Howard Hughes. Howard Hughes, one of the richest men, died one of the richest men in the world. Howard Hughes owned businesses. He was in aeronautics, real, you name it, Howard Hughes was in it. He was a very rich man. And if you had asked Howard Hughes during his years of gaining wealth, was he living his best life? An example documented in his life was that Howard Hughes was a recluse. He never had relationships. He was highly OCD. When he died with millions of dollars. No relationships, no one to surround him and insulate him in life. He was not living his best life. My message today is you can live your best life behind enemy lines. You just have to know and understand the difference between wealth, living your best life, whether you're poor, whether you're middle class, or whether you're wealthy. Living your best life is a mindset. It is a mindset. And that is one of the most important things that you can take away from the three know-hows, the three things that show up in your life when you're living your best life. Join us on our next episode. It's a two-part series where we're talking about left behind enemy lines. We explore in part one where we are with our young people. What's the status of our young people? Where are they as it pertains to their education, to their health, their physical health, their mental health? What does their future look like? And on part two of Left Behind Enemy Lines, we explore what we should be doing right now, what alarm we should sound right now in terms of the life and the future of our young people. I hope you've enjoyed the show today. Don't forget to join us. If you are going to live your best life, you can behind enemy lines, but you've got to stay in the battle. Peace.